Well, that was a crappy night for New Jersey anyway, for the Knockdown Dragout group, and for myself. That was a tough one to take. Never seen her make a break like that at the gate. She was actually very quiet tonight. Come out of the gate well, just put one step in and rolled off. Really caught me off guard, to be honest, especially after the gritty trip she went in Philadelphia, where she was very steppy and still did her work. Now, Andrew added a head pole tonight and a gating strap, but I don't think either of that bothered her. I think it was just a bad step, and she rolled off. He's done a great job. I wish he'd one more week. He did such a good job getting her tonight to where she was. Massive improvement from Philadelphia, just not quite perfect. Now, having said that, if she doesn't make a break, do I loop over to the front, sit behind the 2 or the 5 or the 7? Do we get in the final? Maybe, in which case I think that would have been great for us. But that's the way racing is, you know. The good days feel so good because we all have bad days. And, you know, this affiliate that I think is still making great gains. And, you know, regardless of what people are going to think, people can say, oh, it was Anthony's fault, she ran at the gate, or it was Andrew's fault, or it was this fault. It doesn't matter. It's done. And I'll take the brunt of the responsibility on this because that's my job. You know, I row the boat. I'm the captain, and when things go wrong, it's my fault. When they go good, we spread it around. And you know, that's the tough thing about being the boss. You know, you have to make the boss decisions, but you're not always going to be right. I don't think I did anything wrong today, but at the same time, neither did the captain of the Titanic till he hit us iceberg. So, you know, it's just life. You know, the good news is the filly's fine. She'll bounce back. Andrew's definitely got her going in the right direction as far as soundness is concerned. You know, we did have some people concerned that if she wasn't 100%, why was she racing tonight? Well, you don't really know if they're 100% until you race them, right? Till you have them at top speed. And Andrew made a perfect point the other day. He said, horses are rarely at 100%. Athletes are rarely at 100%. They always have little aches and pains. And, you know, it's frustrating because he did a great job. She was very uncomfortable in Philadelphia and raced great. And she was much less uncomfortable tonight and ended up making an unfortunate break at the gate. Those things happen, especially with trotters, and we'll bounce back. Sure, next stake will be on the 9th in Philadelphia. So other than her, we had a pretty good night. A couple of flat miles, some unlucky trips, you know, a questionable trip from one of them. But we'll start with the best news. Frontier Cruise won. He had his first trip to the winner's circle tonight. Travis Henry drove him great. I told Travis to be stern with him, put him on the lead and make him work, and that's exactly what he did. Did a great job keeping him alive right to the wire. I thought he was beat, but he hung on to win right at the wire. That could be a turning point for this colt. You know, I'd obviously had a number of messages afterwards saying, is that enough to get him out of the sale? I don't know if it's enough to get him out of the sale. We'll see. We'll see what the next 2 weeks bring. I definitely think it's a great starting point for this colt to really wake up and show everybody what he can do instead of being lazy and, you know, a little lackadaisical and really not doing himself or our stable any service. And I was very happy with what I saw tonight. So a good start for Frontier Cruise, let's put it that way. Susie K, I said to Jason, you know, I don't think she's made a break since April, so she was due. She almost made a break on me a couple of times last week at wherever that Bucyrus Fair. And Jason said he just lost her coming out of the gate. She gets running away from the poles in the straightaways, but needs them in the turns. Might be worthwhile opening that Murphy blind up on the left, maybe putting a line pole on the right. But she finished 4th, bounced back. It was a good tightener, good mile for her. So not the end of the world. Susie K rarely makes mistakes. And I'd rather her make them going for nothing than racing in stake races. So a good tightener for her. Very happy to see her come back on, finish 4th. Overdue Mission, another big mile tonight. Jason moved her out of the 2-hole down the back stretch. But it didn't matter. That horse that won on the front looked good. Jason kept her trotting and she raced great. I was very, very happy with what I saw from Overdue Mission. Then we moved to Pennsylvania. Obviously, you guys know Libero Hanover won and looked very good in his last start. Very flat tonight. Very, very flat tonight. I don't think it was the speed of the race. He doesn't seem to be too concerned with the speed of anything. He'll follow. You know, there might be a bottom to him, but we scoped him after, and there was a little bit of mucus and redness there. So John had messaged me and said the vet indeed said he was a little bit under the weather. A mediocre fourth, almost borderline poor fourth today, but nonetheless a fourth. Willpower Fashion, I begged him to make sure they left with Willpower Fashion. You get away last with Willpower. Willpower Fashion's lazy horse. And certainly not the horse that raced last week for me. That was not the one that raced tonight. A poor outing. And never really in the race anywhere in the mile. Frustrating for me because I own a big chunk of Willpower Fashion. I own none of Knockdown Dragout. And, you know, I thought that I would be at best service to be in New Jersey tonight. As it turned out, I suppose anybody could have done what I did tonight. But I would have much rather be at the Meadows racing those horses. Nevertheless, Willpower ended up, I mean, he might have been placed fifth, I don't know. And don't bother emailing me. It doesn't matter if he was or he wasn't. It was a bad mile. I was a little disappointed. But there's always next time. So Willpower Fashion, he'll be on his toes next time he races. And then Just For Me and You went out. Man, oh man, oh man. She seems to catch hard divisions and draws poor everywhere she goes. Another 55-mile tonight in a $20,000 race. First over. She's a tough filly, and she's just not getting any breaks right now. Raced great, though. Raced really, really good. I was very impressed with what I saw from her. She raced tremendous, and then, of course, Knockdown Dragout made a break tonight. I don't want to dwell on that. It was pretty heartbreaking. Andrew's got her sound. As I said, I wish we had another week. But he's done a great job getting her back close to 100%, and I think she'll even be better next time she races. And then this morning, we schooled White Tiger in 57, last half 56 and a bit, last quarter 28 seconds. Thought he looked good. We're going to draw his blood to make sure, see how he looks tomorrow. I would suspect next week in Ontario, if not Mohawk, will be a start for White Tiger. And then we also schooled Spirited Dio. I'm glad we schooled her today. She made a little break at the gate, got to tinker with her hobbles and make sure they're 100%. I James go with her today because he has to drive her next Thursday. So I told him, you know what, take her back over Tuesday. Make sure you get the hobbles proper for her to race in. It's hard. It's hard to explain because she wears the hobbles extremely tight. So it's hard to explain to you how tight they really are and how bad she is if they aren't. So they'll get it right. We'll get it right for Tuesday, schooler, and then obviously she's going to race Thursday in the Pure Ivory. Next week we have a lot going on. I got the fillies in Ohio. Globetrotting is drawing the worst post in every single race she's been in her life in Ohio. 8-hole in the 8th in an 8-horse field, 9-hole in the 9-horse field, 10-hole in the 10-horse field. Now we are trailing, which is better to be away from that crowd at the fence, so we'll take it. But Spend That Money drew 9. The other two fillies drew the inside of the gate. Ale Sun, I think, 5-6. Compass Rose DC, 3-4. Should be a good night nonetheless. Hopefully we get them all cleaned up. Believe we do. And Globetrotting, obviously, stay away from the humans at the fence, and she'll be better. We have the Pure Ivory for Spirited Dio. A couple of people asked, is Sebastian Yu coming home for the Define the World? No, because 7 days after the Define the World, he has elimination. He has to be in Philadelphia for the third division of the Stallion Series. Now, if he that will be the second division. Yeah, that'd be too early. I was gonna say if he did bad and he needed the points and couldn't get them, we could bring him back. But no, he'll be fine. We'll race him in Philadelphia on the 8th. Anyway, that's next week. We had a lot going on. Also, we got a horse that we bought today off On Gate. One of our astute clients messaged me with 9 minutes left in the sale and said, well, 13 minutes left in the sale, 9 minutes before I gathered everything up. They said that horse that you were bidding on in Ohio this winter and the horse that you were talking about, Caviar's Triumph, is in the sale. I called Renee and I said, what's the scoop on this horse? And I called the caretaker too. And he said, they both said the same thing. He said, I have 3 horses for the class. I'm closing down the Pocono barn. I'm going to focus on New York. And he can't get around Yonkers that good. So I'm going to sell him. He figured he'd bring $20,000-$25,000. We got him for $15,000. And one of the clients that saw it happening, he wanted half the horse at $16,000, which is only fair. So John Evans ended up with half of the horse. We have about 25-30% left of him to sell. He was $15,000 American, and he is up on the site now. So if you want a piece of him, I thought it was pretty easy. At $15,000, he's a 4-year-old. We can put him in a $15,000 claimer at Mohawk with the allowances. That's almost at par before taxes. So not really much to lose here. I'm pretty sure he can do a 15 claimer pretty easy. He's got a mark of 155 last year in Sayota as a 3-year-old in the stake races. He's got 58,000 made. He's got 21 out of 49 in the top 3. Decent horse. So definitely worth, I believe, the 15 we paid for him, which is a good building block. We got Totally Tactor. We're setting up for late summer, early fall to be racing in Ontario. We bought Elysium Lindy, who will be racing next week, I guess. We also bought the horse for the Gold Cup, Brave World, and now we've added a 4-year-old to the mix in Caviar's Triumph. Yes, that's his name. You can see him on the site. Anyway, still a lot going on this weekend. We get 4 or 5 tomorrow. We got another 4 or 5 on Sunday, Kawartha and Georgian. And then we have stake races on Tuesday. Fox Valley Shazam is in Tuesday night. So is, what's that filly's name? Enjoying My Life. Enjoying My Life, and also Canadian Titan is in that night. We opted to wait with Muscle Chrome. Don't want to put her on the Mohawk track. I'd rather take her to Kawartha or somewhere next week where you'd hopefully catch an easier field and get a win on this filly's belt. She earns it. She deserves it. If anybody does, oh my God, how can I forget? Monday, Battle of the Bells. We have Miss Brampton Beast drew the rail for Mario Bergeron, and James has got Need Your Opinion, who drew the other rail, the 7-hole in a 7-horse field. So we'll see how that shakes down. A lot going on. If I forgot something, I apologize. It's late at night, and I've had a bad day. So we all collectively have not had a bad day. Just I personally, and one group of owners has. So we'll get over it. I'll get over it. We'll move on. There's always tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.